One, are you ready, Bill? 3, 2, 1, he's recording. All right, I'm excited about this. I haven't talked to her on the show since I did my 100th podcast special, but on Zoom right now with me is Hannah from Alberta, Canada. What's up, Hannah?
Not too much, just, got ready for my day. It's fucking early.
How you been? Now, explain to me. I like how your room looks. Explain to me. So you got the skeletons in the background. What is that above you on the roof?
So above me, it's a tapestry, but it's like a moth with like a skull in its wings, and it's got like geographical like triangles and squares around it. It's pretty cool. I'm into that whole gothic scene, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, is that something you've always been into, or do you think this is like a little bit of a phase?
No, definitely not a phase. I've always I've always had like a weird obsession with skeletons for some reason. So it's always just kind of been my thing. Like anything with skulls on it, I love it for some reason. So I just decided like this was my vibe for my room.
If I had to guess, you're big into Halloween. You like Halloween, don't you?
I think Halloween should be a holiday. I think everyone should have Halloween off.
See, because when I was married, my wife loved Halloween. That was her joint. That's what she loved more than anything. Going to Universal Studios in Orlando. Have you ever been to one of the Halloween Horror Nights?
I haven't. I went to Universal Studios in California.
Yeah.
And I went to one of they had the whole haunted house thing that you could walk through.
Yeah.
And I'll never fucking do that again. I was so terrified. I'd never been more scared in my fucking life.
Now, since we have you on Zoom and we're gonna do this, can you give us a little tour of your tattoos, the ones that you can show on your arms, and kind of explain to me a little bit, when you got them, did it hurt, stuff. I mean, if you don't mind, because I know a lot of people don't know this, is that you kind of are interested in being like a tattoo model. Yeah, I've talked to you about this before. You want to get pretty much as many tattoos as you can get, right?
Yeah, I definitely want to be covered one day.
Yeah. Now, that's your left arm there. You don't have the right arm done a lot right there.
No, I don't have the right arm done at all, actually.
Now, what was your first tattoo?
So my first tattoo is on my ankle, and it is a heart, locket, and key. It's got 2 Day of the Dead faces in it. And I got it when I was 14 in Mexico, which was a terrible fucking idea. It was a tattoo shop. So in Mexico, my mom and I decided that we were going to get the same tattoo. So I got this big one. It's probably about this big on my ankle. So that was the first one I ever got.
Now, what was your dad's, was your dad supportive of it? Did you ask him,
It was actually his idea to start with, and he was like, it's only going to be the size of a business card, right? But the tattoo shop that we went into, their business card was fucking big, right? So I was like, well, technically it's the size of their business card. So, he actually brought the idea up, and that's what actually started the whole thing. And then Mom and I just continued to get tattoos after that we didn't really tell him about.
Oh, so your mom's into tattoos then, too?
Oh, yeah. My mom is actually, covered in tattoos. The whole right side of her body is covered.
Wow, that is crazy. Now, did the first one hurt? Out of all your tattoos, which one hurt the most?
I don't know. It's kind of like a toss-up, because I have one under my
I heard the rib cage is very sensitive.
Yeah, so that one wasn't too bad, but it comes up onto my boob a little bit. So right in the crease of my tit, that's where it really fucking hurt. Or right in my ditch here, right on my sleeve, right in my ditch hurt really bad too. That really hurt.
Now, what is your next step? What are you wanting to get done next if you had your choice?
So next, because this is only a half sleeve right here, so I want to extend it into a full sleeve. I want to get a girl, a beautiful girl right here. She's going to have, some orchids around her and things like that. And she's going to be really pretty, but half of her face is going to be in kind of a skull, kind of to represent that, life isn't very fucking long, and, you need to live when you need to live, and life can be a bitch.
So let me ask you, what have you been up to since we last talked? I mean, I think you're still going to school right now, correct?
Yeah, I'm still going to school. That's pretty full time.
Now, like, are you having to do everything online, or has the pandemic kind of slowed enough where you're at that you can actually go to school?
So the pandemic here in, I guess, like Red Deer, or I guess Alberta, where I am, it's like really, really slowed down. So I'm able to go to school, but I have to wear a mask all the time, which is kind of a pain in the ass. So I have to wear a mask all the time, and I have to, like when I'm doing clients, I have to actually like have them wear a mask, and it's just kind of a pain in the ass, but everything seems to be like pretty in order of how it used to be, but it's pretty squished together. This course is supposed to be 6 months, and now it's only like squished together in 2 months. So yeah.
Now, you said clients. Let's reset for people. What do you mean by client stuff that you're doing?
So I'm actually taking, because one day I want to open my own spa and salon, as well as be a tattoo model. Weird goals, but anyway.
So what are you going to do? Hair, makeup, like what?
It's professional aesthetics right now. So it's doing like manicures and pedicures and massages, and then after that's going to be clinical. So that's like getting into the dermatology side of things.
That's interesting because I've talked to you about this before. Me and my wife, we owned a tanning salon, and we were trying to branch out. So we had the tanning beds, but then we started doing the facials and stuff like that as well too. We actually hired somebody. It was actually at the time a girl about your age, and she was going to school and learning, and it was great. I mean, she was learning as she went. We weren't charging a lot when we first started because, she was learning her way as well, too. She got licensed, which was great. But I don't think people realize that women are into that. A lot of guys, they don't do skincare as much as women do. And it's important, right? I mean, not a lot of people realize.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure it is.
Now, well, I mean, that's really cool. I mean, is your goal in the future to, have your own business or work for somebody?
Well, I have like kind of like a 10-year goal. So by the time I'm 30, I want to open my own spa and salon. So I want to be able to kind of be like a hands-on boss. I want to be able to be there for everybody. So if somebody calls in sick, I can cover them. So I want to take my hair and everything over and above that, so I know what I'm doing, because I want to be the boss. I don't want to be someone that just like opens something and fucks off. Like that's not really my jam. So.
Now, I haven't gotten too much into this, Hannah. Do you have any brothers or sisters, or are you an only child?
I'm an only child.
See, you're in the only child group like me. So,
Yeah.
now, was it kind of tough growing up? Because I want to, before I say this, you're a very attractive woman. You have your feminine side, but you also grew up. Your dad, what does your dad do? He's an oil rigger, right? He does that type of stuff. Have you ever gone out on the job site with him? Have you ever has he ever brought you to work when you were younger to see what he did for a living?
Oh yeah, all the time when I was younger, because my grandpa was also a consultant in the oil field, so that's what my dad ended up doing. So they liked to play little games on each other while I was there, and it was kind of funny. So, but I always went out and I always visited dad with my mom, and I always got to see what he was doing. But it is what it is. Like it's kind of just like he just sits in a truck and he gives orders all day, and he's a very busy man, so he doesn't really have time, right?
Yeah. Now, see, this is how I'm dating myself. Is that you're 21, right?
Yeah.
All right. So did you ever see the movie Armageddon? Like with the oil riggers and stuff. This whole scenario reminds me of your Liv Tyler and your dad's kind of like Bruce Willis, and I can see some of those younger dudes on the oil rigs, trying to catch your attention and stuff. Do you think your dad would approve of you dating like one of the younger guys that worked underneath of him or meeting him? But first off, did you ever see the movie Armageddon?
Okay, yeah, I've seen the movie Armageddon, and trust me, like I'm not a very girly girl, but like that movie makes me cry every fucking time. Every time I watch it,
It
I
it does
cry.
too. Yeah, I mean, because that whole scene at the end when Liv Tyler is saying goodbye to her father on the oil rig. But yeah, I mean, you want me to be honest, your dad, I would trust him if they wanted to shoot him up into space and drill into an asteroid and blow it up. I would have confidence in your pops getting the job done.
I definitely would too, as long as Dad could probably bring his booze with him, he'd be fine. Yeah.
Oh, oh yeah. No, what is his now? Europe and Canada. What is all right? So every country, they got that beer that represents them. Like Ireland and the UK, they got the Guinness. Mexico, they got the Corona, not the pandemic or the virus, the beer. What is the beer of Canada? I mean, what's the stereotypical beer of Canada?
I have no idea,
Would it
honestly.
be
It's
like
nothing like,
Molson or like Labatt's or something like?
it's nothing super like all Canadians, not all Canadians, but a lot of Canadians like their beer, but everyone has like this little fight about what beer is better. Like I had a boyfriend who swore that Pilsner was great, but it was literally like you were drinking cat piss. And I'm more of a Coors Light kind of person, but other people like, Kokanee, and other people like Canadian Molson. So it's just a very mixed, but like beer is definitely a thing. It's not, we don't have like a certain kind that we absolutely love. So it's just kind of whatever you like.
I mean, you Canadians are definitely cooler than us Americans, but now is it specific to the provinces? But is weed legal throughout the whole country?
Yeah, so we
All right, so
we legal throughout the whole
yeah, the whole
country.
country, or is it just Providence from Providence?
No, it's the whole country.
Okay, all right. Now, what are some issues? Now you're younger, and if you don't want to, you might not have your finger on the pulse. But like, what are some of the issues, the big issues that Canadians are concerned about right now up there?
Oh God. I'm not a huge follower of that because I mostly just, like sit down and I'm on Facebook and I'm just getting drunk by myself. I don't really care to know what people are scared about. But I'd say it'd be like, like the whole like Black Lives Matter movement, or it would be, like the whole coronavirus thing. That's what we're kind of worried about. We're just kind of following what everybody else is.
But is there a lot of racism in Canada?
I know I'm not like it's really hard to like say this without stepping on anybody's toes, but like here in Alberta, I know like some people who are super racist and I know some people who aren't super racist. It's just kind of like what part of Alberta you kind of go to. I grew up in Innisfail. I went to high school in Innisfail, and I know like Calgary labeled Innisfail as like one of the most racist towns around, and so it's very different kind of on where you go, and it's very different the people you meet, and especially how you were raised too. It just really depends. It's a super broad spectrum when it comes to this, so I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but that's kind of.
I understand that. Now, and you don't have to answer this. I mean, this is all pre-recorded. So, have you ever dated somebody that was a non-Caucasian or white?
I mean, I guess like I have dated like natives, I guess, but they had like some white in them.
Yeah.
But that's about it. I haven't really tried to like venture out there because really it's just not my thing unless they're like a really good looking like guy. Other than that, no.
No, but there's nothing wrong with that though. I mean, the reason I'm asking is, I'm trying to get the feel, because one of the reasons I think you're going to be great and why people will love you on this podcast is that Americans don't know a lot about Canada. They just know, hey, those are upstairs neighbors that above us, and we're kind of like the white trash below you guys. and we're throwing parties all the time and fucking shit up. And now, what is the going, like, what do Canadians think about Americans?
Um, that's a really tough question. I know growing up, I always thought, like, no offense to Americans here, I'm not doing anything wrong.
I want
But growing up,
opinion.
I always thought, like, growing up, we had, like, this stereotype that, like, you know, everyone from the USA was, like, Miley Cyrus's Party in the USA, so you guys just fucking partied, and you lit off your fireworks for the 4th of July, and everyone was fucking obese in the States because you guys had such big issues, and that everyone is absolutely in debt because of, like, you know, like, you don't have free health care there.
No, we don't.
So it's basically just everyone's obese, you guys just like to party, there's a bunch of drugs, and, you know, like, you're in debt. That's basically how I like saw the States for a really long time.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much nailed it right on the head. Because like I have been working out, and I've lost, like, I weighed today, I was below 160 pounds for the first time. And I was never really fat. I mean, I'm almost 6'1". And I think the heaviest I got was 198. But since I've stopped drinking and I've gotten off all the crazy meds, I've been losing weight. And I got a certain point because, you know, guys, they don't want to be too skinny because, you know, guys that got to protect people, guys that got to be tough, they got to be the hunters and stuff like that. What is your type when it comes to a guy? Because when you think Canadian men, you're thinking rugged, lumberjack type guy. What do you like? Like body type? Do the guys you date, do they gotta be like real muscular, or do you like the lean, skinny guys? What do you go for?
So usually I go for guys that are like, this is super contradicting because my boyfriend right now is actually super skinny and he's like, oh, he's as short as I am and I'm 5'4". So I completely went the polar opposite from what I usually like. But usually I date guys who are like taller, you know, like they got to be over 6 feet. That's such a stereotypical girl thing. They have to be over 6 feet for some reason. And usually all the guys I date are like, they have like dad bods or they're a little overweight because I find guys with like dad bods have a better personality than the guys who are super muscular.
Yeah.
So I like people based on their personality, but I want someone that's bigger than me so I can feel protected, you know, like, cause then they're more rugged and, you know, they just have that vibe to them, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I can easily see that. So, now what have you been doing? I know over the weekend you said you were going out on a trip. And the one thing I like about you, and you're doing it right, okay? Because I was like you when I was in my early 20s. You want to go out and experience things. So what did you do this past weekend?
This past weekend, what did I do? So the Calgary Stampede got canceled due to COVID. I'm not 100% sure if you guys know what that is.
I've heard nothing but great things about that because when I was on Bubba's show, we did an appearance at the place where they hold the Calgary Stampede at.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So the Calgary Stampede actually got canceled. So usually I try to go there and I try to just get absolutely fucking hammered. But since I couldn't get absolutely fucking hammered and go there, I decided to go and like go to the food trucks. So they have this whole like no contact thing, but you could drive up to the food trucks and you could order your food. And I got some lemonade and I basically was just a fat ass all day in Calgary eating a bunch of like takeout food from like trucks. So that's what I did. I went to Calgary, spent a couple days there, and it wasn't too terrible. I mean, Calgary's not much of a vacation by any means. And then the weekend before that, I went to Banff, saw the mountains, you know, went to the hot springs. It was great.
Well, very cool. Hannah, I'm glad that I ended up getting you back on. I want to start doing this with you every week as well, too. Because I want to start incorporating you more into the show because I want to get that younger generation on the show. So what I would like when we do this in the future, I want you to come in with at least one topic people your age are concerned about, or anything that interests you. I don't give a damn what it is. We can talk about it. And then I just want to learn more and more about you. I'm gonna get you some promotional stuff. I'm gonna send you some hats as well too, because I want to work on my Canadian numbers. I think with your help, the show can grow even more and more in the Canadian or Canada area.
Yeah, for sure. We can definitely set something up like that. I'd love to be on every week and like try and give you a topic, but like granted, people my age don't really do much besides go to college and drink. So I will definitely do my best to see what I can
How
come up
about this?
with.
How about this? Just it could be a topic or an experience you had.
Perfect. We can definitely do that.
Now, if people want to check you out, how can they find you?
So I have a Twitter account. It's at from Hannah, HANNAH. You can spell it backwards, just like race car or taco cat. And then on Instagram is _ Hannah from Canada _.
Well, Hannah, I appreciate it. I really, really apologize that we couldn't connect for that little bit at a time, but I feel like we're going to get on a schedule here, and I'm predicting it now. You are going to be huge. People are going to love you, and I just want to thank you for being a part of the team.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for having me, and honestly, I really fucking appreciate it. You're great, and you're going to do great, and I'm so excited to be here with you.
All right, Hannah, thank you. I'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good. Talk to you next week.